Arrest the mod. Black people have historically been oppressed, man. Uh, the oppression is just in a different form nowadays with the new Jim Crow, with the prison industrial complex, with us being hunted as black men. You know, my wife fears for my life whenever I leave. Uh, we've all been stopped by the police before, for no reason, little to no reason at all. I was telling somebody the other day that a lot of the black men over the years who have gotten killed at the hands of state policemen or citizens arrests or whatever the fuck you want to call it, or policemen, most of them haven't been doing anything. We've been minding our business, and we've been getting killed. And notice it's always a gun. It's never like it's never anything like that. It's always a firearm, which is a separate conversation that should be had about guns, stuff like that. But I'm in fear of my own life. And you know what we do out of fear? I'm going to react violently. That's how I'm just going to react in a way that's hostile. You can't expect a black man who gets pulled over for no reason to remain calm. You know, everybody doesn't have that type of poise in a high-level situation like that. We're going to fight back. Your body, for people to say, like, to not try to attempt to fight back or not to react in a way that is unfavorable to the opposition. Your body on a biological level, what happens when your body gets sick? Your body fights back. It fights against the disease or the condition that's trying to take over you. So for us to just sit there and be docile or be passive towards situations like this is not going to help us. I don't think and these niggas, man, who did this to them, first of all, they should. I'm a fan of the death penalty, nigga. I'm a fan. When you do something like that to someone who isn't doing anything to you, man, and he's so young. A lot of these guys are young.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys are young, man. And that saddens me because these are my brothers across the world, not just the United States, man. It's just like here where we live, it's amplified for some reason. I think we have a racist president, obviously.
That's a fact.
Racist administration. As a black man, I don't feel there are any. Pardon me if I'm being long-winded. I don't feel if there are any positives to being black in America. I think we have positive qualities within ourselves. I think we're very creative. I think we're highly intelligent, innovative, something out of nothing. But in the place in which we reside in America, you tell me. I'm not asking a rhetorical question. What are some positives to being black as a black man that you see today in the place in which we?
For me, let me before we get into it, I gotta say this.
All right.
This man died 2 months ago.
Right.
Police put out a statement saying that they were ready to put the arrest in and were told to back down. I've seen a picture come out and the story is starting to unwettle, and it's showing to me that my man made a phone call to somebody who works in the government, and they were in the same state, and they were able to get the police from making an arrest on 2 suspects that they had already before they even had the video. They knew who the suspects were and were told to pull back. 2 months. My man passed away. His family was looking for answers for 2 months. And the police had the answer for 2 months. I'm a black man. I'm raising a black man who's probably going to interrupt me at some point. But even in this journey, I've never, ever in my life felt more so that this ain't about the cops. It's just literally people who just don't like me and like people who look like me.
Yeah.
Who literally, I will always fit the description of whatever it is because they just don't like me. They would rather see me dead. They would rather see me under a jail cell because they just don't like my skin color.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at the same time, the advantages of being black for me have always been being one step behind can sometimes make me 2 steps ahead. See, I know you don't like me. I know you would rather want me dead, so it allows me to move different. So that fear that I move with, it is not a healthy fear, but I'll be dang if it doesn't make me, I'll be damned if it doesn't make me move wiser. I don't go certain places at certain times of the night. I don't move through my neighborhood with a black hoodie at certain times of the night. I would rather be in one spot to be safe after a certain time of night. If it ain't at like a public, Ybor City, if you live in Tampa, I'm not there. I'm not pulling up. You won't see me. It makes me move a little bit wiser. Business. My business is not going to immediately be your oracle or your homebred business that white folks have. However, I'm going to support business of those who have the same skin color as me. Just like Jewish people are successful because they support their own. If you go to New York, there's literally, don't go to New York right now, but there's literally a section in the Bronx where literally the Hasidic Jews own the entire block. There's not one, to screw gentrification. There's nothing on the block that's not supported, created, run, managed, or built by Hasidic Jews. Everything, all of that money stays inside the pot. So an advantage for me of being black is that I can do that. I can do that with my people. I can make things for just my people, and my people will support it, and vice versa. Whatever a friend, a foe, a loved one, a spouse, whatever they do, I can support that and try to help build that. So there's a lot of advantages about being black, but Tromonte, I'd be damned if I couldn't tell you, bro. Right now, it feels like there's a hell of a lot more disadvantages in this country.
Always.
It makes me feel literally like, I'm just gonna be honest. You ever have that? There's this one person that exists in any space you go to, who they feel like they only get called upon when they need something. As a black man, I only get called by politicians when they need my vote. As a black man, I only get called, by the. I don't get called by the police, but I generally only get called by the police when they want me to know that their lives matter too. I can't mourn the death of somebody without seeing that everybody matters. I can't walk down the street, with a bag of Skittles. I can't take a run, because even if I take a run, I'm gonna die too. I can't follow rules that they keep changing. I can't. I live in a city where a woman clearly killed her husband and buried him in the backyard or fed him to tigers or something, and I just saw her riding a bike. She could ride that bike safely, and even if you recognize the woman, she's apparently she's good money. But here, I just apparently I just can't. I mean, I can't do any of that. Apparently, I don't have any of those rights to do any of that because, just being black is just way more difficult than I wanted to be. Like my nigga,
why? You see, you mentioned something about not wearing a black hoodie at night or something like that. Why are we always the one that have to make certain changes in our lives to fit the standard of not looking like a criminal or not looking like a threat? I'm already a threat whether I wear a hoodie or not.
Yeah.
Whether I wear a hoodie or not, I'm already a threat. Whether I wear dreads or not, whether I wear gold teeth, whether I wear a black tee, no matter what I do, cut my beard, wear my beard out. I think most white people don't like black people. I think they tolerate us. I said this before. most of the white people you run into in your life, some of them have been cool. We have white friends. Some of them are great people. But most of the people that you've encountered, especially ones you work with, they tolerate you until you do something black.
Correct. I've encountered in my lifetime, I would say if I had to put a percentage on it, about 70% of the white people that I've met,
Sound about right.
they, it's cool. We ain't no beef. There's no problems. We could hit a basketball court today. We could make a move together. Like there's no problem. About 70. Yeah, I can say about 70%. There's about 30% of them. However, and I'm sure they could say the same thing about black. Like this, there's black folks, and then there's just niggas. I'm pretty sure they could say there's some people that's just been flat out niggerish to them for no reason. But there's about 30% that I've encountered in my lifetime that, quite frankly, if they, I was watching this Chris Rock special and he was saying there's nothing worse than having being in the car full of white people when a Dr. Dre song comes on. And, they got to do a niggerless rendition. Like, I've encountered about 30% of white folks that, even if I'm in the car, it's coming out. Because it's like, it's just part of who they are. They are, when a black folk dies, they feel nothing. When we lost Trayvon, they kind of aired on the side of George Zimmerman.
Who's still out here, by the way?
Clean, just clean as a whistle, just out here walking. Y'all let that happen. When certain things happen, like they're okay with it. They're on the side of, well, what about everybody? Why are we focusing on just one person? They're the type of people that make a Facebook group looking for justice for the two people who murdered Ahmaud. Because that exists. And by the way, at last check, it had well over 9,000 people inside the group. 9,000. But that's the 30% I'm talking about. That will support people who kill a black man for no reason. And they'll find a way to justify it. They'll use the man's high school record that had nothing to do with the interaction to try to paint a picture that he's a dangerous person. They had never met him before. They just saw a black man in the neighborhood who, there's been some robberies. They'll use that line. I've heard that line before. I've been told that line. There's been some robberies in the neighborhood, and you fit the description. Nigga, if you were being robbed and you saw the robber, why didn't you catch the robber then?
Yeah.
You just, I was robbed. They stole from me, and I saw it was a black person before they left. Tromonte, where's the sense in that?
I don't know.
Like I saw him. I saw that nigga. I saw him. Excuse me. I saw that nigger. I saw him. Where's the logical sense in that? Except for when you just have a gun and you just want to shoot and you've been stuck in the house for a while. And, you know what? It's hunting season. It's time to go kill some niggas. It's that time of year. I guess it's that time of year because we done had 4 of them. We had 4 of them in 2020. 2 in the last. 2 has kind of went viral in the past.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't even be in my car with no shirt, Tromonte. I can't drive when it's just warm outside. I mean, I ain't gonna drive without my shirt. But I'm just saying, I can't. They'll tell me I have a gun even when I have no shirt.
Where I seen you. I think I seen you briefly mention this. So no one should really get excited over arrests because that obviously that means nothing. What do you think what do you think the outcome's going to be? If you had a prediction.
For Ahmaud, I believe they'll be convicted on a lesser charge, not the charges we're going to ultimately want them for. We're going to ask for first-degree murder, premeditated murder for them to be convicted on. They'll be convicted of manslaughter. They'll get 5 to 10 years probation, maybe 2 years in jail. And we'll say we wanted justice, and we'll say we got justice, but we didn't get justice. I'm telling you this in advance. We're gonna say that we got justice, but we didn't get it the way that we want. They'll convict them because this is just it'd be the perfect political climate. They're gonna probably push this thing out, so we probably won't see an actual
till next year trial.
No, I'd say probably 2022 before we see this thing get convicted, because that's how they do though. It's white folks. Clearly, they're connected, so they'll do a bunch of motions to suppress. They don't have a bond, so they're stuck in jail. They're not going anywhere. The only thing they can do is try to stay there as long as they can throughout the trial, and try to use that for time served, and they'll get out soon as they get convicted on probation. And we'll say we got justice, but yet Ahmaud couldn't even run down his goddamn neighborhood. Couldn't even do it. They like, that's justice. That's justice.
I was thinking about the same thing about what conviction, if any, could possibly occur. It's very unfortunate that a lot of people are saying, I don't think no one has faith in the judicial system. I don't think anybody has faith that. I think it's a systematic issue, man. Voting and non-voting, we're putting these people in place. On the local, state and federal level, man, we vote for these people, or we don't vote, and they occupy certain seats, and they have a power that we ultimately don't have, man.
That's a fact.
And, you know, these niggas know each other. The policemen know the judges know the mayor. They all know each other, man. They friends and shit like that.
Which is why, if we reversed the situation, 2 black dudes jumped off a truck, found a white guy, shot him.
They're going tomorrow.
They would have been killed on sight. They'd have been either killed on sight, or that's automatic. They're gonna get the automatic for the guns, even if they're registered.
What the fuck? I don't know. I don't know the backstory. Maybe you know. If they killed them in the middle of the street like that, when the police came, what happened? Because they obviously didn't go to jail.
Apparently, from just what so let me be clear. I'm not saying law. I'm not saying anything fully. This is just off of what I've read. Apparently, when the police came, they identified Ahmaud, and one of them stayed. All three, like it was 3 men. There was a man in the car. There was 2 men who actually did the deed. Apparently, the men who did the deed, they got out of there. Somebody stayed. The police came. Once the police came, instead of clink clink, nigga drove off. Nigga went home. Nigga had dinner with his family that night. He watched Wheel of Fortune that night with his wife and family and kids. He watched Jeopardy. Like my nigga went home that night, and the police did their investigation, and they were ready to call the 2 men who admitted to what they did, and they were told to back off. This is all within 48 hours of the actual deed.
I didn't know that.
Already been classified that they were going to put a murder case in. This was not ruled an accidental death. This was not ruled in self-defense. This was set to be a warrant issued for murder. And then they were told to back off. Now, back off, does that mean do nothing, or does that mean this now needs to be a self-defense case? I don't know what the actual circumstances were, because that information is still unraveling. This was posted, whether y'all like him or not, Sean King posted a lot of this literally late last night. So he's just now finding it out. There's pictures of, I believe it's not a state's attorney, but there's pictures of a woman who does have a political influence, and the man who murdered Ahmaud, like side by side, buddy. Like it's just showing where there's just an allegiance here. And she made a call. and it's validated by the police, because the police they put them out there because they're looking bad right now. So they just want to, we shorty over here said don't make no moves. So they putting them niggas snitching on somebody again. But I digress. It works in our favor in this particular case because immediately after that, the chief of police was told, nah, we got to bring them in. So within about 2 hours, actually this broke 2 days ago. Within 2 hours of the police chief getting it, murder warrants were put out. Niggas turned themselves in. But yeah, I'm happy that they were finally charged. But it pisses me off that somebody who recorded it had to upload it a month later, and it had to take another maybe 20 days for it to gain the traction for them to even be in this situation, bro.
How do you feel as a father of a black son who has autism, the police could easily mistake him as he gets older as someone who is not doing something correctly in their eyes? How do you feel? How does your wife feel about raising a young man in this climate today?
I swear to God, what I'm about to say might be on top of anything that I've ever said on the Wavereport. If y'all can't catch me on what I'm about to say right now, I'm sorry. You will never understand me. You will never understand how I move and the fear I operate with. Let me be very clear about my child. My son will speak to you. And typically it will be in request, because my son does not speak the same full sentences that everybody else does. Now, autism doesn't mean that he's slow, doesn't mean that he's retarded. I don't like that even word. Autism just simply means that there's some things he's great at. There's some things he's not. So my son moves the way we teach him how to move. My wife takes amazing time to make sure that my son moves in a way where it's how we teach him. He doesn't cross the street unless he's side by side with us. He doesn't move out of turn unless he's right beside us. When we're in public places, I keep him close. He's too old for me to hold his hand or anything like that, but I keep him close. Typically have him play right at my side whenever we're doing anything. I even made a music video about this, but my greatest fear is my son will be doing something, living his life, because that's what he does. That's what a 12-year-old kid does. Just lives his life. And somebody will mistake him for somebody. And my son will not be able to defend himself in that moment. This is what I don't care about when people say all lives matter. This is what I don't care about when people discredit the lives of a black man. My 12-year-old child could be outside whenever quarantine is over. Me and my wife can be watching him, and he could just be outside. He will grab some chalk and he'll draw on the sidewalk every now and then. Everybody's cool with it. But let's just say he fits somebody's description. Mm-hmm. If a police officer pulled up on my child, my son couldn't identify himself. My son wouldn't put his hands up. My son would stim if he becomes stressed out. Now, stimming, if you don't understand what that means, he's not going to stay still. He's either going to jump up and down very quickly, or he's going to, quite frankly, keep doing whatever the hell he's doing. He doesn't recognize your authority because you haven't been introduced to him that way. This is the reason why, as parents, we keep him very close. In an instance like that, if somebody pulled up on my son and they said he fit the description of something, what's going to be your excuse at that point? How did I, as a parent, fail my son? What background story are you going to pull up on my son to say, well, this is the type of person he was? How are you going to classify my son at that moment? This is the fear I live with every day, because this is what people do. I've literally seen I don't like to watch Fox News because they really don't like us. And I've watched them try to tear down Ahmaud. My nigga was running. My nigga wasn't doing anything that had anything to do with his high school record. He was running. He was a professional dude. He was running, bro. He's a May baby just like me. He was running. Now, my child, who doesn't recognize that I'm shooting a podcast right now, he's not even being quiet for me. This is a proof positive fact. I told my son before I started, hey, I need you to be quiet, buddy. My son is turning the TV up. That's just who he is. You know what I mean? Like, I live with it. I love it. You take the great with the bad. How the hell would I explain? How would you explain to me those instances? You can't. You can't do anything but empathize with me in those moments, or you could be against me because you think that maybe now you're gonna pull up my record. I used to sell drugs, I'll tell you that. You're gonna pull up my record and tell me that I was a bad father because my son didn't respond to authority when he can't. This is the America we live in. You're gonna weaponize me as a father. I know it. If something happens to my child, they will weaponize me as a father because I'm not gonna have any chill. I'm telling you. You get mine, I'm killing you. But they would weaponize that. This is the America we live in. My son something couldn't even happen to my child without them weaponizing it. Now they're going to talk about autistic kids, and now they're going to bring up stories of when autistic kids were violent. Now you're going to see news exposés about violent reactions from autistic kids. You're not going to hear about the story with the autistic kid who had a guard dog, who they shot the guard dog because the guard dog knew that the kid couldn't respond. You're not going to hear about that story. You're not going to hear about stories where there was a kid who almost was killed in the middle of the street and people on the street could tell he was autistic. And it was a man who literally was willing to sacrifice his life to stand in front of a child who clearly could not comprehend what was going on. There's a sensitivity issue there. This is the America I live in, where you tell me because people see this first. They don't see beyond that. That's what I can't cop with, because you will see the fact that my child is black before you see the fact that my child is autistic. Now, granted, that's how I want you to see my son, but that right there, Tromonte, is the one thing I can't ever be comfortable with. That's the America I live in.
Why is it never anyone else under this type of duress? It's always a black man. It's never a white woman, a white male. It's a black man in a position of innocence. Many times it's a position of innocence.
Tromonte, it has been a white woman. It has been a white woman that's been assaulted in a park. And instead of finding the person who did it, rounded up a couple of teenagers and forced some convictions out of them and ruined their lives. One of them got delicious, so he got better. Salute. Anyway, it's literally been lives ruined because of what happened to the white woman. It's literally been lives. The injustice side of it. I've seen injustice screamed for names like Brock Turner. Now, if you don't know who Brock Turner is, I encourage you to read the story. Brock Turner raped a woman. Brock Turner was white.
Yeah, caught raping her. Yeah, caught red-handed raping her.
Tromonte, it happens on the other side. It's just that the results look a little bit different than what it looks like when it happens on our side. It never looks the same. It never goes to trial and then ends in a mistrial, or it never goes to trial and then ends in a not guilty conviction. For some reason, Tromonte, we are always guilty. Always.
Beforehand.
And
we are always guilty.
And the majority of the time, you say that we're guilty and you execute us before we even get a chance to defend our case. If you pull up on me and I make I've literally, I don't know how you feel, bro, but as a black man, if I get pulled over by a police officer, like every time, I'm literally like, I'm dying today. There's never been a such circumstance where a police officer pulls me over, and now I'm just putting my hands on the glass. If they can't see my fear, bro, like I fear no man but police officers and people who have guns and are ready to come for me. Like I can't glorify it. I just can't.
Last time I didn't get pulled over by the police, but they pulled up behind me at a 7-Eleven. It was a couple years ago. This thing is right before we actually started the Wavereport. I was coming home from my second job, Home Depot, and I usually go to 7-Eleven. It's a straight shot home. And I pulled up in the 7-Eleven. Nobody was following me. And you know how you park the car, and you just kind of sit in the car and just chill before you get out of the car. I was on my phone. And as I'm about to get out of the car, I see the discos behind me. So I'm looking back, like, oh, maybe they pulled up. Maybe they pulled up on someone else. Cause I just drove here, and all I hear is stay in the car. So I'm like, you can't be talking to me, cause I ain't done nothing. I'm just sitting in the car.
Right.
And I was like, for what? You know what I mean? And I'm a relatively chill guy. And it's like, just sit in the car. So at this point, I kind of already know what's going on. So I just sit in the car. He came up. Now, to be transparent, I had had my firearm in my glove compartment, as always. And I had a chopper in the trunk because I was intending to sell it. I was going to sell it to somebody. So he pulled up and he says, we know why I pulled you over. I was like, you didn't pull me over. Nobody followed me here. I was like, because I got off at Home Depot at 1 a.m. There's really nobody on the road. I said, you just pulled up on me as I'm sitting here in the parking lot. Now, the area in which I stayed in is obviously not the best area. I guess they were looking for somebody, as usual, and trying to just make me the scapegoat. And he says, license registration. I immediately told him, I said, look, man, it's in the glove compartment, but I have a firearm in the glove compartment. This man asked me, why do you have a gun? Nigga, it's my right to have a gun. Why do you have a gun? What you mean? It's my right to have a gun.
Oh,
and he
man.
was like, I need you to go. I was like, you can go around because my windows don't go all the way down in the car. So you can go around. I unlock the door. I was like, you can unlock the glove compartment. So he went around, man. He took the gun out and he said, take the clip out. I took the clip out, chambered the bullet out. I left it on the seat. And I was just asked, I said, why is all this, necessary? So, cause I don't smoke weed. I don't smoke. I don't smoke. I'm not selling anything. I was working 2 jobs and going to school like any normal person, man. And he says, I'm about to run everything. I'll be back. He took at least 20 minutes, man. After the 20 minutes, another policeman came up because they ride together. He pulled up. He pulled up with his gun already drawn, with a flashlight. He was looking all in the back seat. And I'm like, hey, man, it's like, what's going on? And he was like, don't worry about that. All in all, after a good 30, 45 minutes, and the guy at 7-Eleven, the worker, he knows me because I come there like every night to get a snack or whatever before I go home. He was out there watching. And the last thing the policeman said, he came back. The gun was still on the seat. He came back and he said, okay, put the gun back in the glove compartment. I'm like, no, you put it back in the glove compartment. Yeah, this is, man. Yeah. He says, everything came back clean. And the last thing he said to me, I kid you not, he says, I'm sorry about everything. He was like, you got a tail light out. And he just left. So I was like, all right, thank you. So, me being, I'm not a quick thinker like that. I'm not a quick thinker. Right. I'll admit, I'm not a quick thinker. But in times of pressure moments, man, you'll gather intel fast if you have to.
No, that's a fact.
And I said, I told the 7-Eleven dude after the policeman left, he came up to me. He's like, you all right, man? I said, hey, man, I'm going to turn my lights on and press on the brakes. I was like, go behind the car and see if my lights are out. He goes behind, my lights aren't out. My lights aren't out. He says, so I drive home. I drive home to my wife. I wake her up. Morning time, she gotta go to work. I wake her up. Say, hey, come behind the car. I told her the situation. And she went behind the car, and she was like, "Your lights are good." She's like, "Your lights are good." I was like, "Yeah." They told me he pulled up on me because I had my tail lights were out. If they were good, that means he was lying. But that's not the kicker. The kicker is maybe a week or two later, driving home, same street. This time, the police is actually following me, and they're close enough to look at my license plate. So they're following me. It's a straight shot home. This is a mere 1 or 2 weeks after that happened. And as I'm driving, all I see is in the rearview mirror. All I hear is the discos get turned on, the lights are on. So I'm like, dang, I'm getting pulled over again. Mm-hmm. The lights, I think he read my license plate, whoever he was, and he turned the lights off, the police lights off, and he pulled away, and he turned around, and I said, this is the same person who pulled me over. It's the same person who pulled up on me at 7-Eleven, and he realized it was the same person. That's the type of pressure. That's a real life experience. That was just a couple years ago. Mind you, I had a chop in the trunk. I had my 40 in the glove compartment. It could have easily went awry. Easily, man. And I had every right to, because I'm not a criminal. I was working. I'm a married man. I have every right to be upset, man. You just picking and choosing niggas at this point.
Yeah. And if they react slightly, I'm 1,000% sure you'd have picked up that gun.
And I'm a grown man. Imagine a 17, 18, 19-year-old kid, man.
Yeah. They say nothing feels. It just don't, like, times like this just don't feel safe for us.
No, not at all.
Stories like that, I'm 100% confident. Go up and down Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa, Florida. Any part of Hillsborough Avenue. After, let's say 9:30. See what happens. I used to work at this place. I used to work at a call center for Verizon. I hated working the night shift because I couldn't leave. You couldn't leave without getting pulled over. Literally, and just the drive from, I would say, where that Verizon was to maybe the highway exit was probably about 2 lights. It was you just had to make sure nothing was suspended, your registration was on point. Because as soon as you pulled out, there was a police officer right behind you. And people, trust me, ask any black person, they'll tell you, yo, cops will pull up behind you, and they will stay there for hours. It feels to you like an hour, and then they'll just pull up.
Yeah,
and then they'll just pull up. And they're running your plate to see if there's anything that they can say is probable cause that pulled you over. And then as soon as they do it, now they're going to just see what you know about the law. If you know that you shouldn't if you know that you shouldn't get out the car, if you know that they're going to test every possible thing. Because to be honest, man, like, there's some that's, I can't even, I don't know, bro. After Sean Reed situation, I can't say there's good cops. Like, I know there's good cops. I know there are. And to anybody who serves in law enforcement, that's the job you chose, fam. How I feel right now, you can't contain it. That's the job you chose. So those are your brothers in arms. That for some reason, maybe we got it a little bit more quiet, because still killing the same amount of people every year, but social media activism is at an all-time low. So the infrastructure of Black Lives Matter was attacked and pretty much dismantled. So you only have a few people out here who puts the news out. But make no mistake, niggas still getting killed every day, every week. There's still a story that's out there. It just doesn't pick up in the way that it should. So trust, like, police, like, I'm always fretful of being a black man in America. Always. I'm never gonna not be fretful. I'm never not gonna fear for my kids' life. Ever. I'm always gonna be fretful. I don't think there's no way that they can fix that. There's no way that anybody can fix that. You can't scripture me on that. You can't tell me God didn't give me a spirit of fear. Okay. I've seen enough niggas get shot to fear the police. I do. I fear the police, and I fear a white man with a gun. Those. You can't tell me anything different.
And it's not a guarantee that when we leave the house that we're going to make it back home. Any of us.
It's not.
Any of us, man.
Dog, Nipsey had plans the next day. I'm pretty confident that was one of our own.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. No. But there's some people who they shouldn't have that option taken away from them. There should have never been a reason why Trayvon had his option taken away from him. Mm-hmm. And George is still out. And by the way, you Orlando niggas, George Zimmerman still lives in Orlando. I'm just saying, throwing that out there.
I remember when that situation happened and the trial happened. I remember my wife, we were dating at the time, and she was like in DC. I think she was in DC with her sorority sisters, man. And as it was going on, I think he was about to the verdict was impending. And I told her, I said, man, he gonna get off. She was like, no. We still talk about this. She was like, no. We watched the verdict together. Remember, it was live. We watched it together. And she went haywire when they didn't, when he got off. I wasn't surprised, of course.
I knew he was getting off the second they put that black girl on the stand.
Oh, yeah, true that.
Like the second the black girl was their ace in the hole. As soon as they put her on the stand, they could pretty much ghettoize everything, which they did. They basically, picked a jury that basically says, because they don't talk as proper as we do, because they don't act the same way that means they're uncivilized and that they're aggressive. Like they basically made, I'll never forget the closing statements of that. Basically made us look like the ghetto, like the people in the ghetto, they're more violent. So they're susceptible to this. And never forgot it. That wasn't a police thing. That was a fake cop. And we still let him live out here.
Yeah.
Like, I just want y'all to know, Orlando, y'all still hold that L. Because y'all see I know y'all see this nigga. There's no way y'all don't see this nigga at a Whole Foods. Because he shops at Whole Foods. There's no way I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. You kill one of mine, I'm not, I can't see you, B. I'm sorry. As much love as I have in my heart, I couldn't see. I know there's grace for everybody, but there wasn't grace for Trayvon.
No, I'm also sick of the narrative that we have to find a solution. Yeah, why do we have to find a solution to everything? We're not the ones at fault.
Bro, I heard it said that we needed to be more, we needed to not walk down streets. We needed to not, I'm always told that you're right, we got to make the adjustment.
Everybody else get to walk and live freely.
What adjustment could Tamir Rice make?
There's nothing he can do.
How could Tamir Rice have adjusted to save his life?
Tamir Rice, Oscar Grant, all of them.
How could Sean Bell have adjusted to have saved his life? He was getting married. How could he have adjusted to save his life?
And what's with shooting a nigga that many times? You have to shoot him that many times?
You know what? Tell me the adjustment that you would make if, as a black person, I'm already arrested and I'm in your custody and I'm in perfectly fine health when I'm in your custody, but I die in your custody. What adjustment could I have made at that present point?
Can't make any adjustment.
It's always an excuse. My mother used to tell me, if you make excuses your whole life, I can never see you for the purpose that you have. You're always making an excuse. So how can I say that this is what you were supposed to do? No, the excuse is your purpose. That is who you are. You are the excuse. You're telling me you're going to do this, but you just keep making an excuse for doing this. Eventually, nigga, this is you. OJ Simpson, that's him. That nigga got out of jail and pretty much was like, yeah, I did it. That's him.
Yeah, essentially.
That's him. Like, that's him.
Mm-hmm.
If a man goes to jail for a petty theft he did when he was 19 years old, and today he's 45 years old, and he's lived a perfectly straight life, he's given back to his community, he literally is the example of doing what's right. If something happens, you're going to say he was a criminal.
Right. That's right.
I know, because there was a man selling demo tapes, and, you know, he hadn't done anything wrong in quite a long time. But, you know, because he kind of resisted arrest, that he was being arrested for no reason, just for selling demo tapes when he had permission to.
Yeah.
Tromonte, do you see what I'm like? For some reason, there's an example of so many different circumstances and situations where, I mean, what do I say about the father who is just trying to break up a confrontation, but then ends up getting choked out and killed, and the officer only gets a wrongful arrest?
Ain't enough, man. They got a
wrongful death.
I mean this in a figurative and literal way, because people have to suffer the consequences for their actions. The system benefits the white man, benefits white people. Even if they commit crimes, it's still within their system.
That's a fact.
So they're going to have the benefit of the doubt more so than the person who's dead, who can't speak for themselves.
Tromonte, you know how terrible that sounds?
Yeah, I know how terrible it is. The truth is often like that. The person who's dead can't speak, and you're left with a system that was created by people who look like you. You're going to get off. Brock Turner, you caught red-handed. You're going to get off. Amber Geiger, you're going to get lesser time. You're going to have people caressing you and brushing your hair and shit like that. They got to fry these niggas, man. If you commit a crime, that's how you know it's not fair. It's an unfair playing field. Of course, we started at disadvantage being black, and due to slavery, everybody else has got reparations but us. That's a separate conversation. But when you're in the justice system, man, and you're dealing with judges, you're dealing with the court of law, you're dealing with juries who are mostly biased. They already have their decision when you walk in, if you're able to walk in, if you're still living and you can defend yourself. And then, like you mentioned earlier, man, the trials be taking forever. They should be in prison now. Why have to wait till 2022? If I went outside and I shot somebody right now, premeditated murder, I'm going tomorrow. They're going to arrest me today. I'm going tomorrow. You're not going to hear from me again, man.
And see, the thing is, because you probably don't have the same exact association to friends in law enforcement, such as these two gentlemen who killed Ahmaud, you know, your trial wouldn't get continuance after continuance. Your trial wouldn't get a suppressed motion for more discovery. Your trial wouldn't get, the opportunity to just break and rest in advance of the trial. Like, so what happens is everybody that's ever screamed, we want justice, that time goes by, their voices get silent, because social media activism means, hey, I'm going to speak about it while it's trending. And then the second it stops trending, you forget about it. I've never forgotten about Trayvon. I never forgot about that process. I remember it very vividly. I remember the Mike Brown process. I remember how they tried to stall us out. Yes, Yes, we marched. Yes, there was marching through Ferguson. I can't say I wasn't there. Yes, they marched through Ferguson. Yes, they were pissed off as hell and immediately filed a continuance 2 days after because they know it. They knew it's just gonna go away. It's temporary, and by the time they said there's not gonna be any arrest for Mike Brown, it had died down, and then we got pissed off again.
Hey, in my interpretation of somebody getting off, if you've killed someone as a police officer or an ex-police officer, and you don't get 25 to life, and you get 10 years, 5 years, or you don't get any years, you've gotten off, man. You've gotten off. The most precious, listen to me, Joe, the most precious thing we have is life.
Mm-hmm.
Life and time. When you take both of those away from somebody, you're taking away, he has family, man.
That's a fact.
He has family. A lot of these guys, man, were so young when they died. They didn't even get a chance to live and have kids or to get married or to pursue their dreams. And again, you stripped them of that. You've taken that away from them, and you've given their family an eternity to grieve because of something you've done, and you're not going to suffer for it.
Or oh, this one's gonna hit me just for saying it. Or their daughter is sitting in the back seat of the car next to seeing their father pass away with their mom in the same car. Tromonte, I swear, like this, they give me the impression that we don't really matter too much.
That's right.
I get that impression, quite frankly. I'm I'm a son of, you know what? I'm a son of a bitch if I play football. But I'm those fine people if I march against social distancing orders. Because it's all white people in the crowd. Those people they're fine people. We just need them to stay home. But if I played football, oh, those son of a bitches. Why does
crazy, ain't it? It's crazy, ain't it? It's crazy, ain't it?
It feels like it's top down. Like it feels like. I mean, did we forget about Charlottesville? Because I didn't.
Some people forgot.
You know.
And to reel it in, man. Ahmaud dying and the guy who got killed on Facebook Live, or had the situation happen on Facebook Live. This is what Kaepernick was kneeling for, and people forgot that. It made it into like this big political thing in the NFL and losing money. This is what he was kneeling for, man. Justice. You may not agree with him, you may not like him, but that's what he was kneeling for, and not just him. Other people were kneeling for stuff like this that continuously happens, and you have to, as you mentioned, man, you have to wait months and months. Because when I first seen it, I didn't know the backstory. I'm like, oh, this just happened. Oh, it's crazy. And I was like, no, it did happen.
It took, and see that, and that's the part, bro. Where are we today if the brave individual who recorded it doesn't upload it to Twitter? Where are we today? See, Twitter. See, the Twitter community is probably the most effective community because them niggas, like, they share. It gets popping, and then with Twitter, like, things can go. It can catch fire real quick. It just took for a couple people to see it. People were scared, like, you know, Tromonte, we put a video up right now. Let's say we put a video up right now on the Wavereport page. Hey, maybe 10 people see it. You know what I mean? Like, boom, we put it out there. Maybe 100, 200 people see it. But if there's something in that video that, ooh, whoa, that's shocking, that's crazy, that one person hits the retweet button or Facebook and they share it, then another person, ooh, this is crazy. Y'all got to see this. Then it starts to fire.
Right.
2 months after he passed, this happened. Now, Tromonte, I'm grateful that these gentlemen were arrested for something that they did. Do you realize how many of us have been killed in same situations, but there was nobody behind the car with a camera that was recording it?
Yeah.
It took for somebody to pull out their phone to save justice opportunities for Ahmaud.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many examples where that doesn't happen, and I just want, for once, the system to work for us. But it's such a dead dream because when has it? When has it ever worked for us?
Nah, man. It hasn't worked for us because it's not designed for us.
Nah.
It's not designed for us, man. It's not designed for Black men. It's not designed for Black women either. We will forever be fighting an uphill battle, man, in America. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I agree with you 100%. I'm very grateful to be alive, to live in a place where I have air conditioning and food and clothing and shelter, and I'm able to work a job and to provide. You know, I am very grateful for that. I don't want that to be mistaken or misinterpreted. But if I live somewhere, I have a right to criticize some of the aspects of the representative democracy. And this is a democracy that just doesn't benefit people who look like me. It's continuously shown live on social media that it doesn't benefit me. I don't have to read. I'm an avid reader. I don't have to go into history books and be like, oh, this happened. They killed this guy. They killed this Black guy. We're seeing it now in real time, man. We're seeing it in real time that they could care less about us. They want us out of here. And it's better for them if it's like that. Because we're very powerful when we come together and we unite for a variety of causes. But it's, I guarantee you, man, and I'll say this, man. I have no problem saying this as a Black man. If that person, let's substitute Ahmaud out. If that was a gay person, someone from the gay community who got killed, nigga.
Yeah.
You'll see riots, and they will do something. When it's a Black man, that's just another nigga, man.
You know, the only time we get justice is when it's expendable. Like the person is expendable.
Mm-hmm.
The walking into somebody's apartment where they're supposed to be, just being Black, just sitting in their apartment and not even realizing that it's not your apartment and just killing somebody.
Yeah,
see, in moments like that, that's when that's the officer in question, she was expendable. So it was easy to give us a little sprinkle of justice right there.
Mm-hmm.
2 years from now, mark my words, mark this video. 2 years from now, these gentlemen are going to have a sentence handed down, and people will be in an uproar. I'm telling you, they won't be expendable. They won't. They will do everything they can to silence the story, and they won't be expendable.
Mm.
They're not even cops, and they won't. And they won't be. And they won't even. And they won't be expendable. Like that's what America is for me. I'm used to it. I'm so desensitized to it.
I'm desensitized. I'm desensitized with you, and I'm scared of the fact that I don't even feel a lot of anger anymore. What is that going to do for me? Like, we have to just face the reality. I'm scared of being angry, because like, what can I really do about it? This is how God made me, man. I shouldn't have to alter. I shouldn't have to. Oh, I can't go out at this time. I can't wear this. I can't go jogging. I shouldn't have to do that, man.
Yeah. I
should be offered the same rights and privileges as other people in the country, man. And unfortunately, I'm not. Unfortunately, man. But is anything else you want to cover, man?
Hey,
we had to do this episode. This is important.
Oh no, that's a fact. This is a fact. Special Wavereport episodes, and I think that What we want to be about is we want to give you guys compelling conversations to have to talk about, but we wouldn't be responsible if we didn't take some current events and put them into perspective. Sometimes we got to talk about it. Sometimes we got to talk about what's happening at the moment.
Yes, sir.
And we gotta put it out there. So next time we talk, we'll probably talk about snitching. But in the like,
it's not a word that's in my vocabulary, but I understand.
No, it ain't something that I know, but it feels.
I understand.
I'm starting, Tromonte. I'll end it here. It feels like, as a hood nigga as a nigga who grew up in the hood and was taught certain morals and principles and be aware of certain things.
Nobody cares anymore about that, Joe. Clearly,
it just feels like some things stay the same and some things change way for the worse.
Right.
Like, we blame it on 2020. 2020 has been a savage, but quite frankly, bro, nothing about Earth surprises me anymore, bro.
No, I'm not surprised.
I can't even get into the snitching topic, bro. We'll talk about that later. Listen, my name is Joe Waters. That doesn't matter today. What matters today is that in about maybe 30 minutes from now, actually, Tromonte, maybe we could do this together. I don't know. You tell me. Because I'm going to probably put this up tomorrow. I don't know. Well, y'all are seeing this right now. At some point, the Wavereport is going to run with Ahmaud. And we want to invite you to do the same thing. If you care about what's happening in this country right now and you see the injustice of what's happening right now, I don't care if you're out of shape. You can run real slow. But why don't you run with the Wavereport? We'll give you some more details about it. But my name is Joe Waters.
This is Tromonte. Y'all, please like and subscribe to the page.
Please
pay your respect to Ahmaud and his family. Do what you can. Donate, share. Just become more aware. Unfortunately, man, it's another black brother that we lost that didn't really get to live out his life. So our condolences to his family and anyone who's lost someone, especially a black man, us being black men, a child.
And black women.
Black women. And black women, I'm married to a black woman, you're married to a black woman. You know what I mean? They're our strength. Yeah. So everybody stay as safe as you can during this time, man. The Wavereport definitely keep giving y'all content. As Joe mentioned, it'd be irresponsible of us to not speak about this. So hopefully we shed some light on some of the topics that have been going around today. And we love y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Yeah, Joe, man.
Hold on. Let me say this in closing. If I'm black, Tromonte's black. However, for you that's watching this video right now, that's a white person, thank you for your anger. We don't give you credit sometimes when you see what we see. For the white person who has seen the video and is angry, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that.
But don't let it stop. Seek the same justice we seek. Be that same voice that we need, because we need you, because they don't listen to us. Thank you. With that being said, salute, Tay. We're gonna talk soon. We got some more. We working here over at the Wavereport. So like and subscribe to the page. Cop your Wavereport merch. You know what I mean? The water's got a little darker. You know what I mean? But we appreciate all y'all support, and we'll talk to y'all soon.
Peace and love.
Yeah.